wanted to see what you thought about your buddy Tony and Rico getting together.
I think it's unbelievable.
I called it.
You did call it, and I was trying to downplay it because you were right yesterday.
I was just being stupid.
I know you were being stupid, but you were dead on, and I was like trying to move on from it, because you were dead on, and I didn't want to harp on it. You'd be like, "Hey, little Rico."
He's the only guy I know.
I'm like, shut up, Seth. Shut up.
Well, you know what I thought? Here's my thing: is everybody thought it was going to be somebody else. Geo or Hod and Shield, and it totally.
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's Rico. Because Rico and Tony are genuinely good friends. Rico actually, when he actually lived with Tony for a couple years in Tony's big house in Columbus when Rico was making the transition of relocating from California to Indiana.
Was he his houseboy?
No, he wasn't his houseboy.
Okay.
But I'll tell you one of the main reasons. One, Rico is one of the top 3 sprint car drivers in the world right now, not under Tony's banner, under his own. And the other thing is Ricky Warner, the crew chief of Rico, used to be, when Donny Schatz was winning all the championships, Ricky Warner was the crew chief, and that's who's the crew chief of Rico's car. And Tony's very familiar and with Ricky Warner, knows that he's an absolute stud when it comes to setting up sprint cars. So you got the best driver, you got arguably one of the best crew chiefs, and now they'll even be that much better funded. Look out, buddy, because Rico Abreu is going to win some championships, and I agree with you. I know them both, and I'm so happy for them. I'm so proud of them, and this was the right decision. This could be a dynasty. This could be a Donny Schatz, Steve Kinser type dynasty.
Do you think it's going to be that big?
It could be.
10-time, 12-time winner?
Rico is so young. Ricky's got a lot of gas in his tank. The technology on these things don't change so quickly that Ricky can't keep up with it. This is great news for the sprint car racing community. It really is.
Now they're going full-time high limit, right?
Full-time high limit, which absolutely screws World of Outlaw, because World of Outlaw now is losing Rico, and Rico's a huge draw. I mean, you got Brad Sweet, Kyle Larson, Rico. I mean, that's your top 3 guys. I mean, that's going to pack the stands out. I wish, I wish we could get them to Ocala Speedway, but they are always seem to be on the West Coast when we start our February season. But I'm going to make a phone call today and see if I can get a hold of Brad Sweet or somebody and pull some strings, because man, what a great announcement! I have it actually right here. Them interviewing Rico in the pits yesterday, and I'm going to play it right now.
Bubba, I honestly don't know. I don't really understand what's going on, but I do. He's with Tony Stewart now?
Yeah, little Rico is with Tony Stewart now.
And I know he was a badass driver, right?
Badass driver with his own stuff.
And he's a little guy for what people don't know.
Sir, thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yeah, no problem, Bubba.
All right, man. So he now, Tony is, a legendary car owner. Started with Danny Lasowski, went on to he actually owned Steve Kinser's car for Steve's last few years. Then went to Donny Schatz. I don't know how many championships they run together with Ricky Warner.
Is this like Tom Brady signing Joe Burrow?
Yeah. No, this would be like because Rico's young. So this would be almost like the Packers signing Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is only 26 years old.
Oh, it's all about those stupid yellow ass. Sorry.
Man, look at you.
I'm sorry, man.
Look at you.
It's not, there's other. I try to use some neutral teams here.
You could say when John Elway brought in Peyton Manning.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
There you go.
Yeah, but see, Peyton Manning was still on the backside of his career. Rico's barely 30 years old.
All right. Well,
hold on here.
Kind of a quiet day news-wise here in southern Indiana at Lawrenceburg Speedway.
I'm actually going to see if I can have Rico on next week.
Oh, sweet.
Rico Abreu, anything new in your world?
Oh man, I don't know. We had an incredible announcement today. We're joining forces with Tony Stewart Racing. I'm going to pilot the Tony Stewart Kerbagenian number 24, starting in 2026. Tony and I have had over the last decade of our friendship, that I've got to know him. We've had multiple conversations about trying to figure out how to join forces, and the timing was just right here, to put something together going into the 26th season. Excited to bring TSR to High Limit. I think that's really, really incredible for the sport.
And I'm telling you, Ricky Warner is the glue that keeps this together. This doesn't happen without Ricky Warner.
Ricky Dub, baby.
Ricky Warner. This doesn't happen without Ricky Warner. And that's the difference.
To have an organization, for me to be associated with an organization, just with that championship.
By the way, let me guess who saved Ricky Warner's life?
Patterson, Gooch.
Dr. Dan Diaco.
Really?
He was, gonna die from COVID because he had some pre-existing conditions, including cancer, and nobody in Indiana would treat him.
We know the end of this story, Bubba, because Dan was 600-0 during COVID.
Yeah, well, yeah. Dan's got better percentages than Belichick when he was with the Patriots. So Ricky Warner had some pre-existing conditions, and in little ass, Hickville, Indiana, these doctors would not go. They would not go outside the box with the ivermectin and the oxycycline and the Z-Pack and the rest. What is that thing that you breathe into?
Oh man!
I forget what it was. But anyway, so Tony calls me. Tony Stewart calls me. He says, "Hey, man, this is when Ricky was still crew chiefing for Donny Schatz." And he's like, "Bubba, is there any way?" Of course, sumo's a part of every deal. Sumo tells me that your plastic surgeon boob doctor has a hot shot setup on COVID that's really non-conventional than anything we can get here in Indiana, but Ricky Warner is not doing good. His levels are down. He might die, and I can't lose him. And so I blew a call into Dan. Dan blew a call into Ricky's wife, got Ricky on the phone, went through the symptoms, had to call like 4 or 5 different pharmacies in Indiana because all the pharmacists were telling him, no, we're not prescribing ivermectin here in Indiana. You got to go with the Placadil or whatever the standard USD, whatever the standard big pharma deal want. That's what you're going with. And Dan Diaco, and I think Ricky Warner and his wife would tell you, Dan Diaco saved his life. Dr. Diaco saved Ricky Warner's life, and Ricky Warner is the greatest crew chief in all of sprint car racing. You take that along with one of the greatest drivers right now, and you have the funding of Tony Stewart. Bitch, you're going to win some championships. And I can't wait to watch it.
Incredible infrastructure, and we're going to be able to bring, this amazing sprint car team that's associated with mine, some love. And with Ricky Warner, Zach Middlebrooks, Brady Forbrook, it's going to be an incredible opportunity for everybody, and get Ricky back to TSR and, continue the...
See, when Ricky left TSR, Donnie forced him out, and so Ricky went from TSR, Tony Stewart Racing, back and over to Rico. Rico was running his own team, and that's probably been the difference of how good Rico is because he's got the Ricky Warner touch now.
The championship model that they have.
You've been a very vocal supporter of High Limit since day one when you showed up to race underneath Brad and Kyle and Flo's championship here. Tony Stewart sells the All-Star Circuit of Champions to Brad and Kyle to let it become Kubota High Limit Racing. With your support, Tony's background in the sport, this all kind of seems like a really kind of match made in heaven kind of scenario. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I love the vision of all of it, and I love to support it. I love the sport, just how passionate I am. And you see Tony's passion with dirt track racing and just his comments and his love for sprint car racing specifically, and what he's done at Eldora Speedway as a team owner, a racer, just for what he's done for the sport of NHRA. And I'm
just telling you, man, Tony Stewart's the man. Should I have Tony on next week, or should I have Rico on, or should I have them both?
Both.
Man, I'd have Rico on. You've had Tony on a couple times
Yeah,
recently.
let me get Rico on next week.
And Rico with Gene?
Yeah, Gene.
Oh, yeah, Rico with Gene. But as long as Gene, I mean, let me tell you something, Rico, you little guy.
Here's what you're doing wrong.
Let me tell you something. If you were down in Florida 20 years ago, I'm just telling you, you might be getting a lot of seconds. You know what I'm saying? The O2 might have be able to put a bumper on you. You weren't going to slide, old Gene Lasker. I ain't lifting. I got the gift. I don't lift. How about it?